Hi, Nahom here from Five Senses Academy, and I'm so glad that you joined me today. Today I'm on day 2 of a series that I'm calling Creating and Executing Lesson Plans. Yesterday we talked about themes. Well, today we're moving on to part 2, and part 2 is all about research, how to research. Let's talk about research. Where do we research? Well, the World Wide Web is probably your easiest source, right? The computer. You get on your computer. A few websites you want to think about. Number 1 is Pinterest. Pinterest is awesome. It's a great way to organize all your thoughts, things that you find, things that you like. You pin them. In fact, if you have a good idea that you want to pin for later, you can create a different folder for it. It's awesome. Pinterest is awesome, and I encourage you to use it. Number 2, blogs. Extremely knowledgeable people have shared so much via blogs. They've given us so many examples. I find myself reading blogs all the time where teachers, or retired teachers, stay-at-home moms, different people put together blogs which are very informative and have very good material. They give you examples of arts and crafts, books to read, what to do at circle time, songs you can sing, so many ideas, even meal ideas, how to make lunch fun, how to put faces on a waffle or a bagel or a pancake. Very interesting ideas. So blogs are great resources. Number 3, how about good old YouTube? Everyone is sharing on YouTube, right? Of course, just keep in mind that not everything on the internet is true and accurate just because it's on the internet, but it's a great place to start. Just remember to check your facts. Make sure that what you found is developmentally appropriate for your student, and then you should go for it. Okay, so when you're doing a research, you found all this research, you find all this resources. Now what? Okay, imagine it's Monday morning and children are walking into your classroom. As they're walking into your classroom, what is it do you want them to find? What do you want them to see on your subject? Let's say your subject's animal. When they walk in Monday morning, what do you want them to see? What do you want their experience to be? I want to let you know that if you think about the children walking in and their face lighting up and you're thinking what you want them to find, it'll make it easier for you when you're doing your research. Because when you find an idea, you can read and say, would this light up their faces? Would this be very exciting? Would this be fun for them? Your theme is on animals? Change it up. You can make your classroom a jungle. You can make your classroom the forest. You can make your classroom whatever you want it to be. You can turn it into whatever you want it to be. Or you don't have to go that extreme. You could just put items in every center, in every part of the classroom that has to do with your subject. Fill it with books everywhere, posters, photographs. Think about what things you can do differently in the block center. Can you turn the block center into a cave? Just a small cave. Can you just build caves in the block center? What about the circle time rug? Can you put something in a circle time that children have to climb, they have to crawl? Depending on your space, depending how your room is set up, you can do all kinds of crazy things. But I just want you to remember, while you're doing all these crazy things, while you're figuring out all this exciting new activities for your children, that you should keep something very important in mind. Number 1, of course, the children's interest, like we talked about in figuring out the theme, but also you should think about the 5 senses. I never want to do a lesson plan when I don't incorporate the 5 senses throughout. Why? Because all children learn differently, right? When creating a lesson about animals, don't forget about sensory. Make sure there are things that the children could get to touch, whether it's just mud, get down and messy, or if it's the kind of foods like hay or get creative. What is it that children can touch, whether it's in the sensory table, whether it's outside, whether it's in manipulative play? Think outside of the box on how you're going to help shape these little kids and help them to see something that they don't usually experience. I would like to show you 2 examples of how you can incorporate books in your lesson and the differences. This book is really great, Polar Bear, What Do You Hear by Bill Martin and Eric Carle. A very great book. It has very fun and bright pictures that the kids can see and can enjoy, right? And as they look at and experience the pictures, they can tap on the animal that correlates with the picture. Very cool idea, very fun book, right? But let's look at a whole different idea. Let's look at something very different that's very important in your classroom. Having a book like this one. This one's called Creatures by Andrew Zuckerman. This book is awesome. If you don't have this book in your library, I suggest you run out and get it because this book is awesome. The illustrations are awesome. This book is an alphabet book and goes through identifying animals that matches the letter in the alphabet. But the illustrations, that's the most important thing I want you to see about this book. The illustrations are amazing. For example, A. Can you guess what animal this is that they're going to teach us about A? Alligator. Now look how realistic this alligator looks. So children who's never seen an alligator, which is probably most, except if they've seen it at the zoo, this is a very realistic animal. You know, when you talk about it, you can talk about what does this animal feel like? Does his teeth look sharp? Does he look scary? Does he look nice? Whereas the other book by Eric Carle, it's fun, it's silly, but it's not as realistic as this book. Both are very necessary. I just feel like a lot of times teachers forget to incorporate the very realistic, very photographic examples in their lessons. Let's look at another page. Look at the bear. The bear. Most books show you a big snuggly thing and doesn't show the real passion and anger and fluffiness of the bear. And look at this bear. This bear looks kind of tough, right? He looks fuzzy and soft, but he looks a little tough. Looks like a very good. Oh, and look at this one. See, you're on the first page, you're kind of guessing what this is, and on the next page, you get to see what this is. Look at that. Aren't the illustrations in this book awesome? This is a very good book to have. Let me give you another example. Imagine we're teaching about transportation. I have these posters here that I think are just wonderful. They're very realistic, very real. And the kids can discuss, what kind of vehicle is this? This is not a cartoon picture. This is a real picture. A picture that shows you, depicts exactly what it is. Look at this, a tow truck. Imagine how many kids, especially the boys, right, would be interested in talking about what this tow truck does. What does it do? Where does it go? How fast can it go? Can it go slow? Look at this. This is a train. What is pulling on it? Do people ride this train? Imagine all the conversation you can have in a theme. So if you buy something like this, a set like this, and you put them around the classroom, imagine how much conversation the children will begin to have. And this one connects back to even if you're doing farm or something like that, what kind of transportation would you need on the farm? Look at this. Look at these very vivid, very nice pictures. Listen, you can go as far, as wide, as deep as your imagination allows. You can explore underneath, on top, inside, out, all around, as much as you want to. Just to remember that we are introducing these precious children to our world. And later on, they're going to see all the evil and all the bad that exists. But for now, while they're in our care, we just want them to know that we love them and that they're important. We want them to feel confident and know that they can capture and they can succeed in anything that they want, anything that we're working on. Let them know this is their space. They're important, and we're here to help them and to play with them and to spend time with them and encourage them. Let them know that they are important, they were created with a purpose, and they are excellent. They are wonderful, and they are loved. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. It was such a pleasure to share with you how I feel, what I think, and how I research projects for children. If you have any thoughts and ideas that you would like to share with me, I would love to hear them. Please share them with me. Maybe I'll use them in my next lesson plan. Until tomorrow, as we continue on with this journey, bye. See you later.